Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are listening to this podcast. Um, we're gonna continue on pursuing our greatness. Well, I know some may ask and say, why do you always talk about greatness? Right, here is the reason I talk about greatness because the bottom of life is so filled up. The top of life, those great places, the one they call the 1%, is so lonely. People are not there. The bottom is where people are fighting. They are fighting for remnant. But for you to leave that bottom and come to that place where your greatness can radiate, this is what you need. So, this place, it's not for everybody. If you want to remain small, please stop listening to me. But if you want to be great, if you want to learn, to get those tips on how to move from where you are to that 1% club, then stay with me in this place. I will continue to give you just little by little some of those things you can do on a daily basis to project you to that place where I know you like to be. You may say, money doesn't make you happy? Why? Everybody got to find out for themselves. Everybody got to find out. They say the love of money is the root of all evil. Okay. You find out first. You have that money first. And then you will be able to tell the rest stories. Right. I'm going to be talking about strategic relationship. In the course of we pursuing our greatness, we've got to make sure we are very careful with relationships that we go into. It has to be strategic. Not everybody that comes your way should stay in your life. Some people just come into your life for an experience. Let them come and let them go. Then some will come. They are meant to remain forever. So you've got to have those emotional intelligence to be able to know people who just come that needs to go. A very good friend of mine once told me a story. He is married to a very rich British billionaire who happens to have 3 children. And one of the children, who is equally, maybe almost a millionaire now, are married. Some years ago, met a gentleman who was a city banker, and they went for a date, a couple of dates outside their houses. Then the lady invited this gentleman to her house. And this was in Australia. She was living in a $4 million house. When this gentleman, the city banker, came after the visit, and he went back to his house, his flat, he sent this lady a text message and said, I am sorry, this relationship would not work. And then the lady replied to him and said, why? He said, because we are not in the same class. Class matters. Class matters. My father, who had very little or no education, I remember years ago during my first degree in Nigeria, I went home on holiday with some friends. And then there was one of these girls in the area. She started hovering around me and my friends. And my dad was so angry. He called me and said, do you know your mate? That was what my dad said to me. So my dad understood about strategic relationship. He wasn't angry about me dating or anything like that. I was old enough to do that. But then he knew that relationship would not help me if I ever had to start it. So as you pursue your greatness, be strategic. Not everybody that comes into your life should stay in your life. If you meet somebody who is hungry, just give them money. Help them to eat. Don't keep them in your life because you are helping them. I'm going to tell you another story of a young man again who some years ago decided he wanted a partner and was introduced to a lady back home in Nigeria. And the day this lady took this gentleman to her then father figure, because her biological father and mother, they were late, the first question the father figure asked the gentleman was this: did you tell him after 2 months' time you are going to be homeless? Whoa! This gentleman swallowed this out of infatuations, ignorance. He said, yes. And what happened? He went forward with this relationship, got engaged to this lady, did everything, and immediately rent a place for the lady to stay in one of those tough places in the community. Arranged the marriage, sent money and everything down for the ceremony. Few days to the ceremony, when the gentleman went back, 1/4 of the money that he sent to this lady for the wedding ceremony was nowhere to be accounted for by this lady. This lady had absolute zero contribution to this wedding. This man was pissed off, this young man, because of the love which I tag infatuation for this lady. He kept this thing to himself. What did he do? Told the brother, who was the father figure to this lady. And obviously, the brother is not going to say, oh, what she did is not. She only just pleaded with this gentleman. I said, please forgive her. And carry on with this marriage plan. This gentleman had to cover more money to cover the cost of this recklessness by this lady. Guess what? Married this lady, brought this lady over to Europe and everything, did everything for her, treated her like a queen, bought her car, everything. Never allow her to walk. Never allow her to go on a public transport. And as time goes on, what happened? Because this lady now, those things that made her to behave like she loved him are no longer her problem now. Now she's able to do some work and make some money for herself. What did she do? Rebelling against this gentleman. This gentleman went back to education after getting married to this lady, graduated from the university, one of the best in his class. The very day his results was released, he sent it to this lady. This is his wife. Happily, till today, the lady never said congratulations to him. Do you know what he said? What she said to him? Oh, the picture of the certificate you took was so poor. No congratulations. You have done really well. Strategic relationship. I'm going to quote here Tony Robbins, the great motivational speaker. He said, a man's life is either a warning of what not to do or an example of what to do. You learn from this. What's your life? Is it a warning or an example? Answer that for yourself. There is greatness in you. Be conscious of relationship as you pursue your greatness. Be conscious of it. Be emotionally intelligent. One of my best friends says, he said, life is too short to learn everything from a personal experience. That's from Oscar Garuba, my friend. Life is too short. So I tell you, be strategic. Be strategic in your relationship today. I'm not telling you not to relate with people, but just be careful. Don't give everybody access to your life. There is greatness in you. It's time to bring it out. Have a good day. God bless you.